Spencer is here for SunsetSpeedway.ca. Here at the Hillsdale Hurricane, Thayne Hallyburton, and we're talking all about the Canadian Late Model Nationals, the second annual. The first event was a monster. One of the best races we had in all of 2014. So Mark Dilley said there's no chance we cannot bring this car or bring this race back. So it's coming up Labor Day weekend, Sunday night, 125 laps. But this year, my man, no competition yellow, no training wheels, no water wings. They're not saving you guys at all. It's all on you to take care of your equipment, to save your stuff, to go to the deep waters. And you told me you're excited for that. Why is that?
I'm jacked. My car doesn't seem to fall off, especially this year. The Reynolds race, we got to 75, and I was wishing there was 25 more. Like, it just kind of, it's not the super fastest car right out of the box, and it's probably because of me. I like to take it easy on my stuff, but over the course of the race, the Reynolds race, my 74th lap was as fast as my third lap. So I'm looking kind of forward to seeing 50 more laps of that. I think we might have had something for them there, so add 50 laps, and I'm pretty excited.
Is this going to be one of those events where your Saturday night 35-lap strategy is not going to get you anywhere? Like, these jackrabbit dudes where I got to go right now, I got to get to the front immediately. I mean, that's not going to help you at all over the course of 125 laps, I'm assuming?
No, I mean, I think if you start up there, you want to stay there. See where there's less crap, but if you start in like 10th, 11th or something, you kind of hang out because there's going to be a couple cautions. Like last year, we went 70 laps, I think, caution-free, and then there was like 3 or 4 in a row. You'll probably see something similar to that. Guys will just ride for a little bit, and then they'll get kind of turned up around 60 or 70 when they don't have to, but it's just kind of the nature of the beast, I guess.
Turned down for what?
Yeah, pretty much.
So, well, let's say, hypothetically, the 14 car qualifies at the front of the field.
Yeah.
You put this thing on the front row or in row number 2. How difficult is it going to be then to save your stuff? Because you got, the freight train of guys behind you trying to push you, trying to make you use up your stuff. What do you do in that situation?
I think it just depends who's behind you. Is it a built motor? Stuff like that. The built motor's going to have a hard time keeping the right rear on the car for 125 laps. That happened at Reynolds where I passed 3 built motors in the last 5 laps. They just completely used the right rear up. So I think, if there's a built motor behind me, they're probably going to be pushing to get to the front. Just let them go. You don't win anything on lap 50 or 75, so what's the point in putting your car in harm's way over that?
I always dig talking to you because you're a strategist. You're not much of a fly by the seat of your pants sort of dude. You,
No,
you always typically know what you want to do. So
Yeah.
you've run a lot of 75-lap races. That's the typical distance for these cars.
Yeah.
So to go 125, your mindset heading into this race, how much different is it going to be from a traditional 75-lap invitational?
Well, I mean, the 75 laps for the Reynolds race, I didn't go early enough. I kind of waited till lap 55, 50, and I should have went about lap 30. So this, I can kind of probably employ that same strategy and wait till 55 until you start kind of, you got to be in the top 5 at lap 90. So, I mean, you can wait till there to kind of then get yourself in a position. You got 40 laps or so to work it in. So, I mean, that kind of helped where I was able to evaluate kind of what I did and what the car did. And this car's, all the long races, the end of last year, this year so far, it's been fantastic over that distance. So, I'm really excited for it.
I know you guys have this newfound one-on-one relationship with Junior Hanley after putting your car back together again. That incredible saga that was that wild week. Is there any chance that he might be involved in getting this car ready for 125 laps? I mean, I know he was always an extended distance sort of guy, and I know a lot of drivers sort of rely heavily on that. So might he have something to do with your setup heading into the Nationals?
Well, I think he's coming, number one. But with Junior, he kind of just putters around and helps different guys. He's helping Gordy, and he helps Baker, and he helps me, and the Port City guys. So I think we can expect that. I think Brian Mack's going to come down and help too. So I got a bit of an all-star picker for that.
It's going to be almost an embarrassment of riches.
Yeah. So, I mean, it just depends on what style he does the night before. I think if he wins the championship up there, he might party a little bit hard and not want to come on the Sunday. So
yeah, we'll have to get primetime Josh Stouty down here. So come down into the deep water, see what you can do down here.
If he wins that championship, they won't be sleeping.
Well, he won tonight. He won the
he?
feature tonight. Yeah.
Boy,
So I mean,
Josh.
he's inching closer. One night to go.
It was 1 point going in tonight, I think.
He's going to have a little bit of breathing room heading into the final night. So that's going to be big for that whole team.
Yeah. So I mean, I think that'd be awesome. But end of the day, I think 125 laps is a real proof of what these cars can do now. I don't think 10 years ago the top class could have ran that. So everything's kind of gone to the point where now we can run it. These 35-lap races over before they start, unless we do what we did the other week where it's an hour and a half of just driving around at 10 mile an hour. But I think it's going to be fantastic. And for anyone that didn't come out last year, I mean, that was a whale of a race.
That was that might have been the best show we had all year.
Yeah,
that was pretty wild.
I think I think I finished like 7th or something in it, and I got a pretty good seat of what was going on up front, so it was pretty good. You know, I don't think it's something you want to miss. Labor Day, Sunday, I mean, forget football, Ticats, Argos, who gives a crap? Like, this, you want to see hits, there'll be hits here.
And the atmosphere is going to be crazy, because like no one does big race atmosphere like this place these days. You walk in the gates, and there's that electricity, there's that energy. You feel it as soon as you sign in.
Well, you pack them in, and then it's just crazy. I mean, the pits kind of extend itself to that too, because you walk by every car. Where some pits, it's a big circle and there's rows and rows. It's just one big long row, so you can get a good grasp of.
So you're sizing up your competition on the way to your pit pad, is what you're saying.
Everyone does. That's the fun part about racing, man. It's all, I get the stopwatches out in practice, and you know, guys are playing around, but you got to get the one lap where they go and try, right? So you know, when those guys are coming in, I think you probably expect Parker to come down for that, and you know, I expect maybe Kimball, guys like that from out of town. It's fun to race. Like, I love racing those guys. So that's kind of part of the fun. You get sick of running the same old guys every week. Even though the competition's so great here, it's nice to see some new cars.
Thank the sponsors that are going to get you here on Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, we blew the motor tonight, so going to be another expensive week for us. But nothing ever seems to slow us down. So I really got to thank my mom and my dad and the company, Hillsdale Service Center. But on top of that, Gord Husky and Ritter Sport, they've been awesome this year. And shot him a text there today and said, blew the motor up. He said, well, we'll get you back out. So he's a beauty, and you know, I can't thank him enough.
Congratulations on you've had a great season so far. I mean, you know, you've had a couple of bad nights, but when the car is running and moving forward, it looks awfully good. And I know this has been the season that you've been waiting for here at Sunset.
Yeah, I mean, last year was and you know, of course, staying in practice. My best lap times in practice I've had all year, and this happened. So, you know what? You got to look on the bright side. I'm a big proponent of that. And you know, we could have backed her in the fence and wrote the rear end off, and we were able to keep it out of the fence. So, when those things let go at the end of turn 3. Or at the start of turn 3, at the end of the back straightaway, she's a hairy ride.
Well, there you go. Yeah, he'll be ready for Sunday though.
Ready for Saturday.
Motor. Well, there you go. Yeah, you can't stop these dudes. They're animals. They're savages. I love it. Well, I'll let you get back to work loading these cars up and going back to Hillsdale and formulating a strategy for 125 laps on Sunday, my man.
Motor will be out in 2 hours.
The Hillsdale Hurricane. Thayne Hallyburton ready to go.